Ken Smith is a Brunswick mine worker who's just returned from a job interview in Alberta. He joins us from his home in Bathurst via Skype. Ken Smith, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Tell me what took you to Fort McMurray in the first place.
Well, it started with the closure of Brunswick mines and a job search, computer job search, which is the new wave. And searching jobs, I found positions available in Fort McMurray.
Now, when you went out there, what kind of a reaction did you get? In fact, a prospective employer paid to take you out there, didn't they?
Yes, they did. After a phone interview that I did with a human resource person from Suncor, they decided that I was a suitable candidate, so they paid for myself and my wife, and they flew us to Fort McMurray, rented us a car and hotel room, and we had a job interview there last Friday.
If you were to get this job, how would it compare to the job you've been doing for the past few years in Bathurst in terms of wages and benefits?
The wages are pretty much double what I'm making here in Bathurst, but that's going to be offset by the much higher cost of living in Fort McMurray. The rentals and food and everything else is substantially higher, but still it will be financially a big increase for me.
How do you feel about relocating to a place like Fort McMurray and leaving the town of Bathurst?
Well, it is a sad day and a sad decision I had to make. I would love to stay here in my hometown, in the community I live in, which is a very family-oriented rural community. I'm surrounded by friends and family right here where I live. So it's really not something I would have chosen. It's the best I can do right now in the situation that I find myself.
If you were to stay in Bathurst, what would your options be?
Well, a couple of years ago I could have said call centers, but even those are getting pretty scarce. It would be seasonal work, maybe working with fishermen, farmers. The forestry industry is pretty well done here. There's not many jobs there. Maybe working in shipping or construction. There's a little bit of construction here, but it doesn't pay well.
When you look around at your personal situation and the situation of your colleagues in Bathurst, what do you see as the key problem? Is this just how the economy is working against you, or is there something more fundamental happening here?
Well, I think that people waited till the last minute. By people, I mean governments, industry, to put some investment into the northern part of the province here. There are some mines that are trying to start up now when the big mine is shutting down. And I think if those mines would have had some investment in the past, they might be in a better position right now to start up. There are at least 3 mines that are trying to open here right now, and they're actually using the facility at Brunswick Mines, the mill, to mill their ore, but that mill is shutting down on the 10th of May, and that's going to pretty much shut down these junior mining companies also. So maybe some better planning in the mining industry. Forestry, that's province-wide. I think that we let that one slip away. We had a lot of really good forestry jobs here in Bathurst. We had a 100-year-old mill that's now looks more like a bomb site. So maybe some planning in the past. Right now, it's almost too late, as sad as that is.
I get the sense from you that you don't want to relocate. You don't want to go to Fort McMurray, even with double the wages. What would it take to get you to stay in Bathurst? What would you need?
If I had a job that paid even, I would say, 3/4 of the salary I was making at Brunswick, and it was a full-time job that would last for a few years, I would stay here. Other than that, I pretty well need the earnings that I was making to live on. I'm close to retirement. I don't have a lot of years left to work, so I would have been able to make it, I would say, about 3/4 of my earnings.
When will you hear about the job in Fort McMurray?
I actually received an email today that I am progressing to the next step, which is a security check by a company that they employ, a third-party company, to check my references I suppose, criminal records and driving records, that sort of work that security companies do. So I actually received it, and even though it's not my first choice, I was very happy to get that email today saying that I had progressed to the next phase of the hiring procedure.
So by this time next year, I could be talking to you via Skype from Fort McMurray.
Hopefully by early this summer.
Well, I know it's a bittersweet situation for you. I wish you luck in your job search, and good luck out west.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'd like to thank you and your station for the interest you're taking in the northern part of the province, and my friends and coworkers that are facing this right now.
Good luck. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you very much.
Ken Smith is a Brunswick mine worker. He's just returned from a job interview in Alberta.